So I've had some time to review the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. A lot of you are probably wondering whether or not they should buy this device. And quite frankly, there's a lot of great things behind it, but some of you might want to make other decisions first before buying this smartphone. First things first, let's talk about the design. It is a big phone. Like, it's pretty much a slightly bigger version of the Galaxy Note 9. The upside though is the way they made it feel in the hand. I found the Note 9 to be a little bit too boxy, and the way they curved the edges, I found the phone to slip out of my hand a lot easier. The Note 10 Plus solves that issue. It's just a boxy design, there's more grip, it just feels comfortable to hold. However, I will say though, that this Aura Glow version, as crazy as the colors look when you're shining light directly on it, it gets a lot of fingerprints on it. And trust me, place a skin on it, don't look like a dirty individual, you'll feel like a better person. Button placement has also changed. I do miss having the power button on the right-hand side. It's just a lot easier to get to, especially if you hold your phone in the right hand. If you don't hold the phone in the right hand, you do it in your left, then you're gonna like the fact that they placed the power button on the left-hand side. Now, a huge upgrade to this device, and I'm talking like probably the biggest feature, is that there's no longer a dedicated Bixby button. Thankfully, you won't have any accidental presses when it's in your pocket. Now, the unfortunate part, it's still there hiding under the shadows. Like, if you long press the power button, Bixby will show up. But the good news though is that you can disable it under the settings. Now, if you're coming from the Galaxy Note 9, the physical fingerprint scanner is no longer on the smartphone. It's now embedded into the display of the phone, just like the Galaxy S10 Plus. I'm not finding a speed improvement compared to the S10 Plus. In fact, sometimes the S10 Plus is even faster. Like when I log in right now, they're both pretty equal. I was really hoping that the Note 10 Plus would improve on the ultrasonic technology. Just because when you compare this to something like an optical sensor on the OnePlus 7 Pro or P30 Pro, it's slower, and you can definitely notice it. The next thing is the dual speakers. You still get them, but the sound experience is not as good as the Galaxy Note 9 or for the iPhone XS. Here, you have a listen and you tell me which one sounds better. So for sound quality, I'm finding the best sound to come from the S10 Plus, followed by the Note 9, then the Note 10 Plus. It could be for a couple of reasons. One, the fact that the earpiece, which displays the second speaker at the top right here, is very thin now. Like, it doesn't have as much space to breathe and let out the sound compared to the other two devices. I'm just finding the Note 10 Plus to be a little bit too high on the trebles, and I find it at max volumes to kind of distort a little bit, whereas the Galaxy S10 Plus sounds very nice, like very well balanced. The other thing is call quality. Because of the speaker situation, I'm finding it a little bit tougher to hear the individual on the other end of the line compared to the S10 Plus. Because you actually have a physical speaker that you can see, like I said, there's more space for it. The call quality on this device is better than the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. Now, I'm not gonna beat a dead horse over this. The headphone jack is gone. It was coming, it's finally here. I was hoping to see it on the S lineup first, but they took it away on the Note lineup. I'm not gonna cry over it. I'm used to it by now, but if you want a headphone jack on your smartphone, it's now becoming very difficult to find a phone that supports one. Display. I don't notice a difference between this and the Galaxy S10 Plus. They are both just absolutely stunning. Like, when you put these devices beside each other, it's really hard to tell the difference. The only benefit to the Galaxy Note 10 Plus is you're getting more of it. 6.8 compared to the 6.3 or 6.4 that's present on the S10 Plus. So the reason why you buy a Galaxy Note is because of the pen. That's what makes the phone so unique compared to any other smartphone on the market. Now, it did get some upgraded features. It's faster, the latency is better, it feels better in the hand, and I love the fact that I can write my name or write anything down and the phone's gonna transcribe my terrible handwriting into text. This is a big deal for someone like me who has the worst handwriting in the world. Now, they've also introduced a bunch of other features like AR Doodle, which is like the most gimmicky thing. I tried it for 1 second and I can't see myself ever using it again. However, if you do have kids, they will love this feature. I literally gave it to my daughter and my son and they can't stop talking about it. Now, the other features they introduced are pure gimmick, like using your hand to rotate the camera or to go back and forth between like how far you want the zoom to be. I don't think most people are gonna use that. I think most people are just gonna use their hand to change those settings on your device, which brings me on to the camera. They've upgraded it. You get a third lens compared to last year's 2 on the Galaxy Note 9, so very similar to the S10 Plus. However, you do get the time of flight sensor on the Note 10 Plus, only the Note 10 Plus, which helps with depth information to provide better bokeh when you're taking your shots. I'm not seeing a huge improvement in terms of quality between both of these devices. In fact, they're pretty much the exact same sensor. So if you're hoping for an upgrade, you're not gonna see it here. And I don't think it's still the best camera. I think they're probably in the top 5 range, but I think cameras like the Pixel 3, the P30 Pro still do a much better job taking photography. Now they did introduce more gimmicks with the camera. Like you have this live focus option in video. It looks cool at first, but then you start to notice how bad it is when it tries to round off the edges of the subject it's trying to take a video of. It's fun to play with, but again, this is something you're gonna do once or twice and never use it again. Now, I'm using the Exynos version of the Galaxy Note Plus, so I don't know how the Qualcomm version is. I just got one in today, so I'm gonna be testing out the differences in terms of battery life, speed, and performance. But for battery life, I'm getting about 5.5 hours of screen on time before needing to charge. Now this is still much lower than the Huawei P30 Pro or Mate 20 Pro, but it's still more than enough to get you through the entire day. Plus, finally, Samsung has listened. You have the ability to smart charge your device at 45 watts, which will quickly charge up this smartphone faster than it ever did before. And you still have those other little features like wireless charging or fast wireless charging and the ability to reverse wireless charge other devices like your Samsung Buds. Software-wise, it's the latest version of Android. It's great. I mean, it's still using Samsung One UI. It's a big improvement from the good old days of bad Samsung skins, but it's still not my favorite skin. I think they did a really good job with night mode. Like the way they made the menus look just looks so much better than some of the competition, but I still find the icons to be a bit too clunky and not as clean as something like the OnePlus 7 Pro. So here's the honest, hard facts. I don't think anybody should buy the Galaxy Note 10 Plus unless you absolutely know you're gonna be using the S Pen on a consistent basis. I think everybody else should be taking a look at the S10 Plus instead. Not only can you pick up this smartphone for about $600 US right now, you're actually getting a few more features on the S10 Plus that you don't get on the Note 10 Plus. You still get the headphone jack. You still have a second camera lens on the front, even though it's a depth sensor. It does help with taking those live focus shots. You have better speakers. You have the same battery life. You have the option of buying in a ceramic version, which costs more, but still cheaper than a Note 10 Plus. Overall, it's pretty much the exact same smartphone when it comes to performance as the Note 10 Plus, but for a lot less money. Now, if you know you're gonna use the S Pen, the Note 10 Plus is a fantastic upgrade if you're coming from something like the Note 5 or even the Galaxy Note 8. I don't think you should upgrade to it if you're coming from the Note 9. You're honestly not gonna see that many improvements. So that pretty much wraps up my review on the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. I'll save DeX for a separate video. If you have any questions about this device, feel free to hit me up on my Discord server. I'll leave a link in the description down below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video.